Hi guys, so I just wanted to make a little quick thing. Thank you for the overwhelming response to my last video. Yeah, it was really difficult. You probably didn't see how difficult it was to write, because obviously I wasn't filming that bit, duh. But I spent about an hour, 2 hours, brainstorming, thinking of as much as I could that I wanted to put out there into the world and for people to hear, and then writing it up in as much detail as I could remember, because my mind's fucked anyway, but it got more fucked. So yeah, and that sounds really fake and shit, but it really is a serious problem for me, having really bad memory. It sucks. I'm really glad it brought everyone who used to watch my channel, all my friends from college, a lot of people I used to know, all back into my life in a weird sort of way, because I hadn't posted for so long and it felt really weird to just suddenly... I don't think I've ever had that many comments on a video that was just about my life before, and it was kind of incredible. It made me feel so loved, and if I keep talking I'm probably gonna cry about it, so just gonna not right now. There's been a load of shit coming out about Toby Turner Tobuscus today, basically, and about 3 days ago. A lot of people accusing him of being narcissistic, having a drug problem, being an attention whore, a cheat, a liar, and a rapist, and a sexual abuser. And there's a lot of sides to this story. And a lot of YouTubers are coming out saying, yes, he does have a drug problem, yes, he is basically an attention whore, and yes, he does treat his girlfriends like shit and he does cheat on them, but none of them can actually decide whether he was a rapist or not. So there's a lot of shit going down, basically, in the YouTube community right about now, and there's a lot of people going, well, if people didn't lie about it, then it wouldn't happen and we wouldn't have to have this discussion. But the thing is, sometimes in that situation, you just deal with it. You don't say anything, you don't do anything, you just deal with it. You just take it, and you don't tell anyone because it makes you look weak. And I think people miss that side of the story when they think about it. I mean, when you're in this immense... you get this immense feeling of power and you feel like you're on top of the world, above everyone else. They make you feel loved and appreciated. Well, that's how they try and make you feel anyway. Like you are important and no one else will ever love you like they do. They still hurt you, obviously, but no one else will ever love you like they do. And then they hit you, or they touch you when you don't want to be touched, or they talk shit to you. You're not gonna kick off. Some people would. If you feel like the power distribution is equal, some people would. But if you know me, I'm 5'4.5", right? I weigh about 7 to 8 stone, sometimes 9, depending. I am quite small and I throw a really shit punch, right? And the person I'm talking about is about 5'11", 6'1", in that range. I don't fucking know. He's very tall and he's quite heavy, and he can throw a very good punch. Now, would you, in that situation when someone's really angry with you, want to start shouting and screaming back? Would you? I know sometimes I did, and it usually ended up worse than when it started. The easiest way to get out of those situations was to cry and apologise. Even if you hadn't done anything wrong, that was just the easiest decision to make. But there were only a few times I ever mentioned it to anyone. Just because I didn't want to feel like I wasn't strong enough to deal with what I was going through. when in all honesty, I wasn't anywhere near strong enough to deal with what I was going through. And I don't know, all of this coming out makes me feel a little bit uneasy in a sort of way, because it shows me how, no matter how much evidence you give, no matter how convincing you are, people will still root for the other person. People will still take their own side, their own opinion. Because in the same sort of way, right, Toby Turner is this big, outlandish personality who talks in funny voices, he makes people happy, he makes them feel loved. From the minute you meet them, they're your best friend. They always will be your best friend, because that's what they tell you. And they explain over and over again how much they love you, and they talk about their lives, and then they talk about yours, and they help you through their problems, and so on and so forth. And it's very difficult to see the other side of that person when you're given almost a screen between you and them. They are the other side of this screen, and you will never touch them, you will never understand them, you will never see behind the screen. Until you do see behind the screen. And what is behind the screen is never quite as picture perfect as what's in front of it. And as always with YouTube, there's this big massive fan base, over 1,976,000 people. And obviously they are split right about now. I was just scrolling through the comments on his truth video, right? And it's liar, rapist, abuser, go to hell, do this, do that, and then there's some people like, I'm rooting for you all the way, I don't care what they say. And it's a big gap between those people, and there's some people who are like, I believe you, but I also think you have a problem and you need to get that checked out. And that's the difference. Do you know what I mean? There's some people who are taking a bit of both sides. They're like, we still think you're a great guy, but you should probably get this and this and this sorted so this doesn't happen again. And it's kind of that, because as much as you want to see the good in a person, sometimes it's just not possible. I don't know, just videos like this they make me want to talk about it more, because I feel like I have something to add to the conversation that a lot of people might not have, which is experience. And I kept it from everyone for a very long time, my experience, because at that point in time, I had no friends, practically no friends, and I didn't think I was going to have any friends. So to me, making myself weak was not a good place to start. So I went for the first 5 months after it happened, like after the end of the relationship, saying nothing about what happened, being brief, being like, well, yeah, it kind of happened, but it wasn't too bad. Like, he shouted sometimes, but it wasn't that bad. To actually breaking down and telling people as much as I could, like as much as I could physically bring myself to. And still, some people don't know the full story, which is because I can't say it. It doesn't, you know when words get stuck in your throat because you really don't want to say them, but you know you should? It's that. It's just, it sticks right there. And it's a big allegation to make. It really is. Especially with a brain like mine that's fucked to shit. Yeah, I'm not going to say anymore because it's not a good conversation to get into with the entire internet. So, yeah, I'm on both sides of this story. I think if he has a drug problem and he has an attention problem, he should probably see a therapist, and if he isn't already doing that, he should be in rehab. But if the allegations are true, I think he should be trialed, obviously. I mean, but this guy was one of my heroes for a very long time. I looked up to him so much. And you know, hearing these things about people just changes your perception. But you can see, obviously, that he's a very hyperactive, very attention-motivated person. And this video's been 10 minutes long. For fuck's sake, Millie! Yeah. Alright. I'll talk to you guys soon. It was lovely seeing you again. Goodbye.